victory. Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer are inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. Very nice to have you along with us. We're here to remind you that small business is big business. Your business is our business. It is really nice to have you along for the journey here today. Angel's out in Phoenix today. She is at the Small Business Expo put on by Bill Walsh and his team. And, thousands of people walking the halls looking for the next thing that's happening in business and the encouragement that's happening in the small business arena. I'll tell you, there's an enthusiasm going on in the marketplace today for small business. And it is both amazing and exciting and wonderful and what we've been asking for. And it is also significantly dangerous. And I want to share just a minute for those who are tuned into the program, the dangers of having an upside in your small business. You know that we came through a pretty serious economic recession as 2008, 9, even into 10 came through. Angel and I, at that point in time, we opted out of the recession. We said we're not going to go for that. We're not going to, You can choose to be strong and push through, or you can choose to be a victim and let the waves take you the way that they will. And one of the things that I think that Angel and I have really embraced is when the going gets tough, that's when we roll up our sleeves and we lock arms and we commit to an outcome and we go after that with vigor. And that's what yields success in many ways. But here's what we see, and we pose this for your consideration. If you've got something you want to add to the conversation, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. When the economy switches back to prosperity, and I think I just saw an article that said something to the effect that the economy is up in like 2.3% across the boards, the highest it's been in the last 2.5 years. And when the economy is doing well, better, it's always in a state of flux, but when the economy is doing better, it is all too often that we see those of us who support the small business community, we see the small business owners of America not doing the things that are most healthy for them because they just don't feel like they need it, whether it's marketing or whether it's investing in training or HR, or whether it's getting your fundamentals down, any of those things that are that built Experience Pros that put people into a place where, gosh, we really need some help, and would you please help us? And we offer these thoughts and training processes and all of that. And when the economy is good, you think, well, I got it. Everything's good. It's fine. I don't need your help. And in my humble but accurate opinion, friends, that is a mistake that could very well be a nail in the coffin if you are not if you allow it to be. Because if you neglect during the times of prosperity the best practices that should be practiced, whether or not you're having a difficult time or a good time in your business, if you neglect those best practices in times of prosperity, you will suffer the consequences of what happens when you don't feed or fuel yourself during times of, you're just feeling like, oh, it's noon, so I should eat again. Well, we're on a schedule for a reason. And in the small business arena and community, there are a number of things that you should do to help yourself on a regular basis. I digress. I will come back to a conversation that I was interested to engage in on habits, toxic habits that really need to be destroyed if you're looking for success. We all want to be successful, but you don't want to face what's holding us back in many cases. We ignore our own blind spots. We often fall prey to our shortcomings down the line. So how is it that we can trim the fat, cut our faults to the bone, and get into the habit of success? And I'm not defining success as a monetary value, but success has its own definition found in your heart, no matter where it is or what it is. Well, Chris Desi wrote a great article on the topic of toxic habits to kick to the curb if you want to find success. And the first one is this: idolizing those who already did it or have achieved it. We all need people to learn from. That's not the problem. The problem is when an industry leader or an influencer takes on nearly deity status. There's no way that you can live somebody else's journey. You can't replace their experience for yours. We can learn from their experiences, that's for sure. But to idolize and then assume that your experience is going to be the same as somebody else's journey, it doesn't work. The next one is comparing yourself to your peers. It's easy to look at other people and say, I'm better or worse from them. I had a conversation about this last night. And that energy, that focus that you put on somebody else would be better spent if you simply said, I am who I am, and I'm going to be the best me possible. Talking about insanely toxic habits that you need to destroy in order to see success, rationalizing not trying. Nothing is worse than saying, if only. The things are the way they are. Define what you want to change and then go about changing it. If you can't leave your job because you have to pay your mortgage, that's fine. But don't complain that you want to start a business and say, I wish I could. No more wishing. Stop watching Netflix or golfing or going to the Yankees game or whatever it is, and use that time to build your business and break free. Or simply stop complaining about it. How about this? Feeding a low opinion of yourself. How many of you self-deprecate? I find that self-deprecation is sometimes in the business of show business is humorous. But if it comes to a fault, and one such situation hit me yesterday, self-deprecation then becomes ugly, and it is harmful in your interactions with your coworkers or whatnot. So don't feed a low opinion of yourself. Similarly, stop pointing fingers. Nobody is responsible for the good or bad fortune except you. Nobody. Deal with that. You stop pointing fingers. It's not somebody else's fault. You have the authority and the ability and the power to do all that you want to do. Talking about insanely toxic habits that you need to destroy in order to be successful. Stop judging others. Here's the comment in the article. It says, rich people aren't necessarily entitled. Many of them work their butts off for what they have. Poor people aren't lazy. They just either don't know any better or they are stuck. Get past judgment and move forward. Don't try to psychoanalyze anybody and everybody and try to fit your mode of understanding on them. Stop needing to have all the answers. This is a big one for me. I used to be in that place where I got to know all the answers. And if you want the right answers, ask me and I'll give them to you. When confronted with a difficult question, sometimes the best answer is, I don't know. And it's okay not to know. If you're interested in the outcome, go find the answer. we have the internet. You can probably find the answer. Number 8, stop seeking perfection. If you are one like me that wants to really be as good as is humanly possible, call myself a frustrated perfectionist, and this is something I've been working on for years, is to realize that I'm going to break some eggs along the way, right? Nothing's ever going to be perfect. I'll strive for greatness. I strive for excellence, but I don't stay in the trenches for very long when things don't work out the way that they should, because it's not productive. It's not productive for you. It's not productive for the people around you. A couple more of these insanely toxic habits you need to destroy in order to be successful. According to Chris Desi, he says, prioritizing comfort. Throughout your journey, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to feel insecure. You're going to feel self-doubt. You might even feel a little panic. But you know what? Get used to that feeling and keep moving. Discomfort won't kill you. Succumbing to self-pity, that will. And then finally, stop waiting. There's never a perfect time to start a business, sell a business, or move on to the next challenge or relationship in your life. So, if you feel the need, take the first step right now. It'll be okay. We'll be back with more positive business talk just on the other side of these messages. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Network.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, America's home for positive business talk.